Hey guys, so in today's video I wanted to talk about something phlebotomy related but also medical assistant related. And so I thought that I would talk to you guys about the most common lab tests that we run while we are working at the outline clinic. So for those of you who don't know, I am currently working as a medical assistant. I technically have two jobs at the hospital that I work at. One is as a medical assistant in our clinics, and the other is as a sleep tech. If you guys want more information about either, please let me know. So in my job as a medical assistant, I have worked at our main clinic, which is located within the hospital, where medical assistants aren't responsible for drawing blood or anything like that. We do still run like wave tests as far as urinalysis and things like that. But we, at our outline clinics, we have 3 outline clinics. And at those outline clinics, the medical assistants or LPNs are responsible for drawing blood along with running wave tests. So I will tell you what I want to show you first is the most common tubes that we end up having to draw for our blood draws. And I will kind of go over other like wave tests that we also run most commonly, like on a pretty consistent basis within the clinic setting. So I do have the tubes that we use. These are expired tubes that I was able to bring home from work simply because they were just going to get thrown out anyway. So first of all, the most common would be the lavender tube. I get this pretty much any day that I'm in the clinic that I have a blood draw. There's at least one lavender tube that I end up having to draw. That could be anything for like a CBC, sed rate, I think. But sed rate can be in like green and lavender. It kind of depends because there are certain tests that can be run in multiple tubes. That's why I like the fact that our labels tell us what tube to put things in. So we have lavender. After lavender, our second most common would be green. I do a lot of lipid panels and CMPs. That's this one. After green would be the yellow SST. So we have the short draws, which are these ones, which are only 3.5 milliliters. And then we have the longer, the tall tubes. So most of the time I only have to do these, but there are certain ones where like it's a send out and there's multiple tests that they're going to run off of one tube. So I end up doing a tall tube just to make sure that they have enough to run all of the tests, if that makes sense. So after this, then we have the blue tube. I've literally only used this in the clinic maybe 2 or 3 times total for blood draws. And these would be for your like coagulation studies and things like that. So following those would be for the blood draws. We do have other tubes that we can use, but those are the most common. I've never used a red tube the entire time that I have drawn blood at the outline clinic. I'm sorry if you can hear Taffy. She is crying right now. But like I said, we do have other tubes that we do have in the lab. These are just the 4 that I use most consistently. And I will tell you the most consistent ones are these 2 right here. And at the lab that I work in at the outline clinic, we have these ones which don't have any gel separator in them. And then we also have, like right now, I have a set of green tubes that do have gel separator. So with these ones, these are the ones where I think you've seen in previous videos where I have in the processing part of things, I have centrifuged it and then I have to pop this little cap off and use a pipette to pull off the plasma and put it into a transfer tube or another tube to label so that they can be processed with our analyzer. So these two are by far the most common. So when it comes to the most common waived tests, I will tell you, number 1 would be urinalysis. Number 2 would be rapid strep. Number 3 right now is COVID. And number 4 would be pregnancy tests. I will say we do a lot of, like, when I do a rapid strep, I'm also doing a culture tube just so that I don't have to go in and bother the patient again with swabbing them a second time. So normally I will go in with a regular swab that I'm going to run the rapid strep test off of, and then I will also swab them with a culture swab at the same time and put that into the culture tube so then I can have everything ready to send down to the lab if it is ordered. Like if it's considered necessary to run, then I will already have it done. And then, like I said, I don't have to bother the patient again because it is uncomfortable to get those swabs done. So anyways, short little video, but I thought it would be interesting to kind of share with you guys the most common tests that we run and the most common tubes that we use. Again, most common, kind of common, least common, but still gets run. So that would be it. And like I said, we do have red tubes, but we don't really use them because a lot of the tests that we get can either be run on a red tube or an SST gold, yellow, whatever you want to call this. So yeah. Anyways, that is it for today's video. If there's any other information you guys would like from me, please let me know. I'd be glad to share with you. If you have any questions or comments, please be sure to leave them for me and I will either respond in video format or in the comment section, probably most commonly in a video format. So with that being said, that's all I have for today. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and I will see you guys again soon.